But they don't look like me. They don't talk like me. But they don't look like me. And they don't talk like me. But they don't look like me. And they don't talk like me. But they don't look like me.
Welcome back to the Comic Shop with Pat and Eugene.
Ayo, still rapture free.
Still rapture free. Well, right now we're going to be sitting down and talking about 90's cartoons.
When I think about 90s cartoons, the king of all of them is easily the Batman animated series.
Why is that?
Easily.
Why is that?
It's a very faithful adaptation. It's got a dark kind of vintage noir feel to it. Great animation, great writing. It was a little more adult, but still appealed to kids. And just, a lot more realistic. They actually showed blood and real firearms and people dying.
That's awesome.
That's really awesome. Yeah, a lot of times they'll other cartoons would get around it with, they use futuristic laser type weapons and it's implied that the person died, but they don't actually show it, and they never showed blood. Never.
Instead of, you killed him, oh man, you really let that guy down.
Yeah, stuff like that. That's a great point. They did that in the Spider-Man animated series. Peter Parker never actually says he was responsible for Ben getting killed or dying. He just says he let him down.
Uncle Ben.
Rest in peace, Uncle Ben. You're the man.
R.I.P.
Yeah, I love the Batman. Easily my favorite.
Nice. You know, I was kind of a fan of, like, Doug. You know, what do you think of Doug?
I love Doug. I thought he was a great role model for kids. You know, he dealt with a lot of realistic problems for kids in that kind of age group, and he usually handled it well, and sometimes he ended up getting embarrassed a little bit, but he was able to kind of work through it, and I think that was good for kids.
I feel in that show you could never play the race card.
Oh, never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I hate blue people.
Yeah, like Bebe was disliked not because she was blue, it's because she was a rich bitch who later ended up on 16 pregnant. My sources confirm. Roger is just an asshole who's green. We didn't dislike him because he's green. He's just an asshole who beats up people.
Absolutely. You know what? Alright, I found some YouTube group that basically did a live action trailer to as if there was a Doug movie coming out.
Nice.
And it was so unbelievably well done. We'll actually have the link in the information to this video for anybody who's interested. But it had like Doug finally, standing up to Roger. It had like Penny Mayonnaise checking a pee stick to see if she was pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
Doug's sister was working over at the local Honker Burger. And basically the movie kind of sets around Doug coming back to back from college and having so in reality it was almost a indie-esque type of feeling movie.
I think Doug screwed up, man. Patty Mayonnaise is a dime. You lock that down, okay?
I would love to lock that down.
Lock that down.
Give her some mayonnaise of my own.
Extra thick. But I'll tell you what, one of my favorite episodes, I always remember this, it was great. Doug tries to make a gift, like a towel rack, for Patty Mayonnaise, but he screws it up in typical Doug fashion. But somehow, it still ends up being a great rack for, what was those toy balls that they played with?
I'm not
they
sure.
were really popular on the show. And I can't believe I don't remember. But his screwed up towel rack ends up working out as a perfect rack for these balls that the kids loved playing with. And I know it sounds dirty because I don't know the actual name of it. Kids playing with balls. No. What was the name of that toy?
I can't remember. But
great. It was great.
But you know what? In terms of inappropriate cartoons, Ren and Stimpy probably takes the cake.
Oh, I cannot believe Nickelodeon showed that show. Who did they pay off? Who was doing what under the table with who? Because you go back and watch Ren and Stimpy, that show is ridiculously inappropriate. It was over my head. I knew it was really messed up when I was younger, but I just didn't realize how messed up. Because I just felt lost when I watched Ren and Stimpy.
You know what? About 2 years ago, some company relaunched Ren and Stimpy with a mature title on it.
Good.
And it turned out like these were gay pets living in a spit jar at a bar.
Well, I just remember it seemed like there would be shots where they would do like zoom-ins of stuff, and it would be like Ren's ass or Stimpy's ass,
With
and
a
you
bunch
see like
of boils on it,
little
hair
boils and bits of poo and stuff. Like I was like, you look at all the other shows they had on Nickelodeon, and then you see Ren and Stimpy, and you're like, what am I missing? Why? What? Who's the odd one out?
My mom hated that I watched that show when I was a kid. And, you know, kind of looking back, I'm like, Mom, I don't really blame you.
My parents never really said don't watch Ren and Stimpy because I didn't really watch it. I didn't like it and I didn't get it. And I thought it was just, I knew it was over my head or something. I was missing something. So my parents didn't want me to watch The Simpsons, though, when I was younger.
Mine neither.
When I was in around the third, fourth grade.
I feel you.
But of course I did.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom, you couldn't be home all the time. Reruns were on in the afternoon.
Get back from school, watch some, yeah.
Oh, man, Ren and freaking Stimpy. But
anyway, moving on.
gotta love the 90s. Gotta love the 90s.
90s cartoons are awesome.
But yeah, let's transition. We're going to talk a little bit about the X-Men First Class film.
That's, so excited.
I feel like it's getting a little overshadowed by Thor and Captain America right now. But now that Thor's done, there's more trailers, more TV spots popping up. I hope people are excited about X-Men First Class. I mean, it might be a little harder since we've already had 4 X-Men-based films, but I think it's a great premise, and it looks pretty cool.
Amazing. It's a period piece.
Yeah.
It's taking...
the 1960s, around the Cuban Missile Crisis. The Cuban Missile Crisis is kind of the background for the evolution of mutants making themselves known to the world, and especially the U.S. government.
Oh, have you actually seen that clip? Where they're in,
Yes.
the meeting room, and, you know, Charles Xavier's trying to explain everything going on. And
I believe he's with Oliver Platt, is playing kind of the government representative.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's the Man in Black, I believe, is his character's title. I don't know if we actually will find out his name. It'd be kind of cool if he never actually revealed his name throughout the film.
I kind of want him to be like a member of the Hellfire Club secretly.
So yeah, I mean, there's a comic book called X-Men First Class, but this is not an adaptation of that comic series.
Not at all.
Yeah.
They kind of screwed with the timelines as far as character development goes.
Well, it appears as though with X-Men the first one starting in the year 2000, if they want to make this film work with that continuity, if they wanted to make it work with that,
they'd have to go back that far.
They got to go back further, yeah.
Yeah, pull those characters away.
But yeah, I mean, if Cyclops is 30 in the year 2000, like he was in that film, he's not going to be around in the 60s, in his early 20s, like a lot of these characters.
Yeah, so oddly enough, they just kind of plucked his younger brother out of time and stuck him in the 1960s. You know, you got Havoc.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what purists of the X-Men kind of think about this approach. Yeah, I mean, if they really wanted to do an origins thing with the current film continuity, they would have had to do it, set it in the 80s, actually, would have been more realistic. Because then some of those characters would have been 10, 15 years younger, which is a little more believable. But they decided to go way back to 60s because they want to do 3 of these prequel films. They're trying to set themselves up.
Thanks, Fox.
Yeah, thanks, Fox. So that's kind of good and bad. Good that there's going to be more films coming, but man, I wish this film would have been set in the 80s or early 90s.
Well, you know, if you got 3 movies coming out, you know, there's definitely room to make the other 2 kind of fit into that.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously we haven't seen the film yet, but from what I can gather from the preview is, like we mentioned, there's the Cuban Missile Crisis, but the mutants are involved in kind of a secret part of our nation's history regarding global events.
You know, some of the characters that you'll be seeing is Darwin, the evolving boy, which, you know, wasn't even introduced till the early 00s in comics. Angel, and we're not talking about White Angel, we're talking about the Fly Girl Angel.
Angel Salvadore.
That's right.
Who's actually being played by Lenny Kravitz's daughter, Zoe Kravitz.
Is that really?
Yeah.
That's
Mom
awesome.
is Lisa Bonet from The Cosby Show. Fun fact.
Fun fact.
But yeah, we're going to see Emma Frost being played by January Jones of Mad Men.
Not a bad choice at all.
Jennifer Lawrence of Winter's Bone will be playing the young Mystique. Winter's Bone, great film. And let's see, Kevin Bacon showing up as Sebastian Shaw. Who's Sebastian Shaw?
He is one of the founding members of the Hellfire Club.
Nice.
Yeah.
They're pretty nice people, aren't they? What are they about?
Taking over the world.
Oh, I guess the Hellfire kind of sets that tone, but you know.
And, you know, that kind of brings in the tie into the White Queen.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Telepath turns into diamonds. Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
I think every girl wants that superpower. Make diamonds.
Screw wearing them.
I am diamonds. But we also got Beast is going to be in the film.
Dr. Hank McCoy
Dr. Hank McCoy.
tries to cure himself and turns blue.
And what was the other one?
Sean Cassidy, Banshee.
Yes, thank you. Banshee was the last one I was forgetting.
No. There's one more. Azul.
Yes, Nightcrawler's daddy.
Dad.
Hey, daddy.
Gets the nasty eye with Mystique.
Heyo.
Oh.
Yeah. Nightcrawler was easily one of my favorites of the original X-Men films. I'm sad he wasn't in the third one.
Oh, he's such a badass.
That opening scene in X-Men 2 when he's at the president's office.
He just takes down the
So
entire
cool.
Secret Service.
Yeah. Nightcrawler's very cool. So yeah, that's a lot to look forward to in this film. I think it looks really cool to me. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about Charles Xavier and Eric Lensher. Magneto and Professor X. That's the heart of this film.
Best friends turned enemies.
Yeah, they're friends. They both believe in rights for mutants, but they both have very different views about how do we get to this point where there's acceptance, or in Magneto's case, he goes beyond acceptance and it's either us or them. And so it's elimination time for them.
That is one angry Jew.
He's very angry, yeah. His roots are he was in an internment camp, I believe. Yeah, during the Holocaust. His character was.
Yeah.
That's kind of a bummer. That might shape your views on the
that's
world.
A huge...
Yeah, so we all know they start out as friends, and we all know that how they end up in the later X-Men films.
Doing the X-Men, doing the Brotherhood.
Yeah, it's going to be very cool to see the moment where there's the actual split between their views and their actions.
You know, I've seen enough of the commercials to kind of put some stuff together. And I see that there's going to be a scene where the X-Jet kind of crashes, and they're all on the beach. Mm-hmm. And Magneto and Xavier are there, and Xavier pulls a gun out on Magneto.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, the line I love from the trailer is where Xavier says to him, he's like, "Killing will not bring you peace, brother." And then Magneto just kind of looks at me and goes, Peace was never an option.
Oh.
Ooh.
Chills.
That's it. That is the heart of it. That is the heart of it. Xavier is looking to be the better man and for acceptance and unity, and Magneto's like, screw it.
Well,
I'm tired of being persecuted. Let's eliminate the humans. We're more superior. We're better. Let's embrace what we're all about.
Well, going in from good guys and bad guys, let's talk about our hero and villain of the week.
Definitely.
Pat, why don't you go first?
My hero.
You are hero.
I'm hero. Might be a little bit of a shock. He's almost an anti-hero, per se. Donald Trump is my hero.
Why?
He's not running for president. It is official. He said he is not going to run. Of course, he was an ass about it. He's like, even though I'd probably win and be the contender and the nominee to run against Barack Obama, I'm not going to run. I'm not going to run. And even though I would love to watch him fail during all the lead-up and make fun of him, it's just not worth it for the risk. So thank you, Donald Trump. You're my hero for not running for president.
I kind of wanted him as a president. I was just kind of...
No.
I was interested in how things would go.
That'd be something, all right.
Almost have like a test run first. Well, anyway,
Scary.
My villain of the week is Harold Camping, who predicted the rapture was going to be yesterday.
I actually believe that last name is pronounced douchebag in many circles. That's how I say it, but I looked at it a little different phonetically.
Anyway, he predicted the rapture. Didn't happen. And then, apparently this isn't the first time he's actually predicted the rapture. And then, kind of eating his own words.
I believe he said 1994.
The first time?
Was the first time.
Let me go back.
Isn't that around the time that Martin Lawrence got his own TV show? So he might have had some basis for that prediction, but it didn't work out for him. I guess there's no accountability. He's kind of like a weatherman, essentially.
Yeah.
He can be wrong.
But, so what happened yesterday that would, refer to the rapture?
I don't know, man, but it didn't work out. But that is a good thing because that means the comic shop is going to keep coming at you every freaking week. Don't forget to check us out on the Facebook, the Twitter, the YouTube channel. So keep listening. We appreciate it. Send us your feedback. Love topics.
I'm Eugene.
Okay.
Inside
Take care.
the system.
Inside
Inside the system.
the connection.
connection